then you start doing lots of different things, including what many may be familiar with, your tag team with Katana Chance, Casey Catanzaro, both pre and post WWE as well. And you guys had a couple of different themes. Obviously, you had Life of the Party, you had Party All the Time. And when I was looking it up, it was like, oh, okay, cool. Here's the names of all the different themes. But I think one theme was one that was just transitioned with a little bit of a different intro, which is something that's not too uncommon in themes now. In terms of some of the themes you got to work on, or some of the themes that you used in that tag team, how much input did you guys have in terms of being able to use, or how much input did you guys have in terms of that theme music?
Think I can't remember the name of it. Whatever, I think Victory March was my song. There's one after it. It was our first one, and it sounded like I don't even know. It sounded like an all-American thing mixed with my thing, and, like, that one they were just like, "We have this for you." Like, that one was just like, "Here you go." Like, "We think this would work," so we listened to it, made it work, whatever. But then after that, when we were switching, we had given inspo of, like, who, like, basically of artists, and, like, Tiesto was, like, the big inspiration, and the song was Break the House Down, and, like, that it's crazy because coming from that song, when they developed our song, end up being a Tiesto song, like, that actual the actual tone of that is a song that he did, with I can't remember who he did it with, it was a collab song, but I was like, "This is the same exact beat." It was like the dun 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 dun, dun, and I was like, "That's so like, it's just it was like a very scary. I wish I could talk to him in person one day and tell him that, like, the inspiration came from one of his older songs, but it turned into, like, a whole new song with the same exact beat, which is crazy, and I don't think it was done on purpose because it came out after our thing came out, so I was like, however he picked the sound beat or whoever picked that sound beat was crazy.
So there is some sort of like connection to Tiesto, and that's a great one too. Tiesto is not someone I've been pulled to as a reference yet for entrance scenes, but someone that was very much someone I listened to when I was much younger. So shout out to Tiesto on that.
Yes. So that was like a version, I feel like it was like in the same realm of like what I had before that. So like I think that that was like the work of transitioning because I was starting to modify my character at that point anyways. So it was just like I was trying to try something new. I wanted to see what was working because it's like no one ever tells you if it works or not. So like I don't know. Like I didn't know if it was like working or not. Like that's just the thing is like I didn't know. Like so that's why we were just making a transition. I'm trying to really think of like how that song even came about. Like, I don't even remember being like, "Oh, I need to change it," or something like that. But I think my song always ended up in something. So it was like when I did the first one, I think it ended up in like one of those like a cold commercial, something like that. I think it ended up in something, and I was like, "Oh," and then they were like, "Okay, well, like let's just like change it a little bit," and then we found like Victory March, and then yeah.
Right, like you're kind of selecting from a library, and then it shows up somewhere, and you're like, "Well, that's my theme, but now we got to go here." Yeah, totally.
You just don't
Now,
want to
when you're
conflict with everything else.
Well, when you're doing something like that, right? Because it's interesting. And when I talk to a lot of modern talent, the conversation usually is, hey, with WWE, they're having you choose from a library. And then if that gets over, then maybe they'll go ahead and make some changes to that. Was that kind of similar when you were selecting your music over time?
I don't even know where ours came from, to be honest. Like, I know that, like, I worked with, like, Neil, and then I know Def Rebel, like, was, like, a part of it and whatnot. But I know that, like, we did go back and forth where, like, there was, like, this certain beat, and we're like, "Take this out," or, like, "Can you add this here?" Or, like, "Is that there?" So we had a lot of input in that. Like, but I don't know if, like, super custom, like, if it's a band. I think on that level where it's like, let's say, like, Rhea, like, with Motionless in White, like, that's a whole another, like, unique monster of, like, how that theme can come to somebody or, like, with Priestess, with his I just feel like there's so many factors that, like, come into play, but, like, I mean, at least we have some kinda input, but, like, a whole custom song is, like, that's a whole whole 'nother level.
Course, yeah.